Welcome to TNT, baby, the naked truth with Taylor Armstrong, where I'm going to expose everything about my life, and my guests are going to come on, get naked with me, and bear it all. Now let's get naked. Gemma, I want to introduce you to my friend Zammy.
Hi, the famous and notorious Zammy.
That's right, notorious. I love it. Zammy is an awesome Spaces host and has been such a great advisor to me along this journey. You know, it's been a bit of a learning curve getting into the crypto world.
A crazy learning curve.
A crazy learning curve. I know we've been talking about it, you and I. It's just like there's something to learn all the time. So it's great to have people that have been in it and in the trenches and out of the trenches. And
right, yeah.
How did you initially get in it?
Oh, in crypto. So I have a friend who's like a Bitcoin maxi. Like and Bitcoin maxi means like they're a maximalist of Bitcoin. Like that's all they will ever invest in. He won't shitcoin with me in the meme coins or any of that. But he's like if you've heard of MicroStrategy guy, what's his name? I'm gonna lose. Oh, Saylor, Michael Saylor. So Michael Saylor is the owner of MicroStrategy, and he's a big advocate for Bitcoin. And so he put me onto some Michael Saylor talks. And after diving really deep down that rabbit hole and seeing how BlackRock and like all the big, what are they? They're not hedges, they're asset management funds, how they're all, just like pushing money into Bitcoin right now, which is then trickling down into altcoins like Ethereum and Solana, and then trickling down into meme coins. I quickly found out that meme coins were where the highest profit potential was.
Okay.
And so I said, if I'm going to enter this space, why wouldn't I be in the area where I have the highest profit potential for sure? And then I just started getting on Twitter Spaces, and people were really like cool and they were welcoming. Some spaces not so much, as you know, but I had a really good experience, at least on the whole, basically. And so I just continued. I think I started like a little bit under a year ago, basically, and I've just continued from there. Yeah.
With all forms of crypto, or just
mainly memes right now?
Memes. And how old are the memes? Like, is this a fairly new thing, or
memes have been around for a long time? I would say because like if you guys are familiar with Doge and Shiba, those were like the two main meme coins.
Right.
Now there were memes before that, and you could go back to like Bitcoin memes that were kind of on not like by rare Pepe artists, and stuff like that. So they existed in the ecosystem, but they weren't like pushed to the forefront, put on Coinbase and all the big exchanges. So I would say like Doge and Shib, about, what was that? Was that last cycle, 4 years ago, I think? That was when they really exploded, and then it became a thing. And then people realized, well, shit, people like memes. Like, let's start launching meme coins. Solana came along, and Ethereum had high gas fees. We talked about this.
Right, yeah.
So some people don't like the high gas fees, obviously. I get that. I actually kind of understand that. I like something that's faster, more efficient, easier to use. So I like Solana, personally. I know a lot of Ethereum people would completely disagree with me on that and say Ethereum is still the better option out of the two. That's whatever. Everyone has their
What
own.
do you call somebody who's into crypto? Like, are you like a day trader, but it's not really trading? Or like, what's like the official name if this is your full-time gig?
That's a good. I've never thought of that, actually.
Yeah,
really? Like, what are you? Yeah, I mean, do you do this full time?
I do it full time now.
Yeah, so that's like amazing.
Yeah.
So you have to say, but it's not day trading. No. It's not. I mean, it's like crypto guy, right? Like, what is it? There has to be like a name.
Guys. Yeah, I don't
know.
But the people that are in it are
we're diehard.
Diehard,
for sure.
That's a good way. The crypto diehards.
Right?
Yeah, we are diehard.
They are into
we love our shit coins.
Are you trading as often as you would if you were like a day trader?
So when I think I'm online as often as a day trader, but so there's two ways to trade in this space. One of the ways is find a conviction play that you really believe in, see a team that you see doing really great things, and then try to follow what they're doing as closely as possible while also contributing to the growth of the project. Be a community member in it. And I think those are called conviction plays because you have conviction in the project. The other way is that every single day there's thousands of meme coins that are launched, and you have an opportunity in every moment of the day to capitalize, get a 25% increase or get a 100% increase on your investment or return on investment.
Right.
And so that would be kind of like the trading aspect where you just come in, quick in and out, and just go.
Yeah.
So I mean, like I was doing that initially, and then I kind of found out about conviction plays being kind of where the real money's
More
at.
like long-term stability.
WIAC, like that is a
right.
conviction play for me. I'm not going to trade that. You know, like I love that coin, and I know that the project is great, and I know that Taylor's doing great things with it. So I'm not going to go and trade that coin, but I am going to have pockets throughout my day where I'm trading other coins that might be launching, and so there's kind of like a scene behind the scenes in crypto where there's like Telegram groups of people's, friends that they've made online and everything, traders that they've met.
Yeah.
And you can call them alpha groups. So these are people who are connected to other projects or other traders within the space who get kind of like, it's not so much inside information as much as like we're finding a contract and being like, hey, this looks interesting, like check it out.
Right.
And we're just like, all right, cool, that looks nice. And sometimes we lose our ass, and sometimes you make a buck, and it's interesting.
Yeah, but just like giving your friends a heads up, there's something new, check it out. I think it looks good.
Yeah, this
and,
looks
just sharing the love.
interesting. Yeah.
You gotta share the love.
So, like, I know because you put that really great document together to help people get in. Because I know, like, with Taylor, because it's like most of the people, both of us know are like, what? Like, I do not know how to get involved, all those things. But also, like, if you're new and you want to start doing this, what do you think the time investment is in, like, submerging yourself into the community and, like, getting to know people and knowing what's better? Like, you have to really be in the pulse to understand what's happening.
Yeah.
So, I mean, is that, like... So, like, I'm new and I invest $5,000 in something, right? And I'm like, okay, but now what? Right? Like, you have to be communicating in those groups, figuring out what's happening or how to diversify that. Like, so what do you recommend? Or, like, what would be like an expectation of what you should do to be successful with it?
I think that's a very good question. I think it's different for everyone. For me, I'm somebody who like dives into something and will spend like 13 hours a day, some sleepless nights, get really, really wrapped up in it, almost lose myself in it, and then come out the other end and like, okay, I kind of know what's going on now. And like I just woke up from a I don't know, like a coma or something.
Right.
And all of a sudden I'm a little bit wiser because I've just gone through a whole bunch of shit. But like I think for some people who don't have that, like they have day jobs and they need to like, my advice to everyone, YouTube is a free resource. Look up how to trade meme coins on YouTube. Look up how to trade Solana meme coins if that's what you're trying to invest in, and take it at your own pace.
Yeah.
Also, be prepared to lose your ass.
Right.
It happens. It happens to everyone. I remember the first weekend I was like, I think I came in with like $1,700. It wasn't a lot. I just said, if I could lose this, it's okay. I'll learn from it. And I started, I think I got all the way down to like $200, somehow traded my way back up to like 50K, and then back down to like 20K. Right. And it's been like, it's that journey of just up, down, and you're like, what the hell is going on? So
that's what my son did, but he couldn't handle the emotional roller coaster. He literally was like, "I'm out. I don't want to do this anymore. It's so hard."
It is taxing. Like that's why there's a term. Sorry.
Go.
There's a term in crypto. You got to touch grass. Like go outside, get away from your phone, get away from your computer, put this away, and just go touch grass.
I think that's good advice for everyone, especially young people who are just on social constantly. I don't know if I've seen my daughter without her phone in her hand in so many years. I'm starting to think it's attached to her, but just like step away, go touch some grass, go do something other than being on it. And when I first launched the WIAC coin, I could not stop looking at it. Like I was just glued to it the whole entire time, and I thought I have to walk away. And then there's so many spaces, which has been an awesome learning experience for me. So the Twitter spaces where you can go and listen to different communities talking about their coin, and for people that don't know, and I feel like I learn something every time I'm on a spaces. Just different perspectives.
For sure.
And what is spaces? So is there spaces for all demographics? Like are people on there talking about cosmetic surgery and beauty supplies and all this stuff? So you can actually have a spaces. Like we could have a spaces for Naked Truth. But I wasn't aware of spaces at all. But I think the format is so cool.
There's even a category for reality TV.
Oh,
on
really?
Spaces. Yeah.
Well, we need to be
Wow.
on Spaces. I think there's just so many things out there. And you were talking earlier about Telegram. Have you heard of Telegram before,
Yes,
Gemma? You have.
Telegram I've heard about.
Right. So
but
then
not-
now I'm on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook Spaces. I'm going to have to just
All
stay home
day.
and all day, every day. But
Yeah.
you can
Yeah.
get on them, and then it's addictive to listen to all the spaces.
It is.
Yeah.
It
And then
is
I'm on
really.
at like 7 a.m. I was on with FOMO, which is like a talk
Yeah.
show format of.
And you're talking to different people. You're getting that full one-on-one like communication. It's like going to coffee with a bunch of friends and you're just like shooting the breeze over there, right?
What's the lowdown?
yeah, like what's
like,
happening?
What's the
What do you
latest?
think? It's like
Yeah.
it's kind of cool. I really like that whole concept.
Yeah,
I do
that's very
too.
cool. Yeah,
I
but
do
it
too.
is.
And I think you've come into the space very like a natural, in my opinion. You kind of came in, you just owned the coin, you told everyone the message, and the people who heard it and believed in it, they were instantly like I was instantly in when I heard it.
I love that. Thank you.
And absolutely, it's
Yeah.
it's a great cause. You know what I mean? And it's something that a lot of people don't want to talk about. What better way to tie it to something financial that, like you said, is going to give value to women in that situation, men in that situation, maybe. So, like, I don't know, if I'm entering any space that I'm in, it's like a no-brainer to get into stuff that is going to better the world for me.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you get what I mean? So,
Oh my gosh, yeah, I think that's all we want to get into.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. And we were talking about Gemma and I both are domestic violence survivors, so
Oh,
we
wow, I
share
didn't know
that
that.
Yeah.
bond in common, and amongst
That
so many
crazy
other
bond.
bonds. I know we
Yeah.
have.
There's a lot of other ones.
There's a lot
too,
of them,
but-
but
you guys
yeah.
have real sister energy.
We
I
do,
love
we
that.
do.
Yeah,
We're
yeah.
like
So cute.
sisters. But her having experienced that as well, we were talking on one of the spaces with the teams about the fact that I got a message from a mom after doing a show just saying that she's in the space. And so it's an opportunity, if you learn the space and you want to get involved, to create some financial stability for yourself, even if you are just at home, you have the time, you can go on spaces and listen and learn. And I
Yeah,
love
you can
that.
dip your toes
That's
in, your big
great.
toe in,
Yeah,
and see what
for sure.
happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, for
Creating
sure.
some financial security
Right.
and
That's
just
what
little
I'm
by
wondering.
little.
I'm wondering about like the actual amount like of knowledge that you need
Yeah.
and the investment to maintain that time investment to maintain the knowledge, right? Because it's changing so rapidly.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's like, and then putting it out, like, are there resources that are like, these are the best coins for now? Obviously with the stock market, everything is very like public, you know how to look at it. And I
Right,
feel
yeah.
like myself personally, I'm totally confused by this whole system. Like, I'm like,
Sure.
where's all the information? Where is everything in one place? How do I know what's happening?
That's
How do
the
I
thing,
view
it's not.
trends? Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's not. So I
Yeah.
think it really isn't.
It's really
because I
decentralized.
looked
They took
and I couldn't figure it out.
decentralized to a whole nother meaning. It's not
Yeah.
centralized at all. You can't get all the information in one space.
Yeah,
so
so you
one
really
of
have
the
to be in it.
downfalls of-
Yeah,
of
you have to
decent.
like be in it.
Well, I was thankful when we reached out to our team and asked for everyone to collab on a
Yeah.
user guide that is more friendly, because there
Which
is
was
so cool.
no real roadmap to getting in that I could find
Sure.
anyway to
Yeah,
share
not
with
a lot of
other friends.
education.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
my friends are like, I like it, I want to get involved, but I don't even know where to start. And so I
Right.
feel like the user guide is really, really helpful.
And
I
it's something
love
that's
the
not a
user
for
guide.
sure thing. It is like day trading or investing in the stock market, investing in Bitcoin. Like, you don't know what the outcome could be. You could make a bad decision. Like, those are all part of the reality of it, right?
For
You can
sure.
also make a good decision. It's like
one
going to the
move away.
casino. It's like going to the casino, but you're like at home. My dad loves the casino.
Right,
So,
right.
he's there twice a week.
Well,
so you never know.
He's over here.
Yeah, you never know how
Our
it's gonna
casino chips.
how it's gonna go down. But there's been like multi-millionaires made like overnight. It's
Absolutely.
crazy the opportunities that are involved, but definitely education and like centralizing that somehow so people can really like understand what's happening, the pros and the cons.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely YouTube was a big help. I watched
It
a
is,
lot of
yeah,
things on
yeah.
YouTube, and that was there's really a lot of
Yeah.
knowledgeable people. But then the other thing is, when I first got involved, I wasn't exactly sure who to trust.
For
you know,
sure.
releasing the coin. So
Yeah.
it's having that community where you have people that have been in it for the long haul and that have seen the ups and downs and the cyclical nature, and learning from other people that.
That's actually been my favorite part of the whole thing, is watching this community develop around your meme, like, and how quickly it happened and how like people are coming together to make it successful. I think that's the coolest part of the whole project.
There are people who are literally WYAC like fans right now.
Yeah.
Like
I
big
love
time.
it.
I love it. I think it's great.
It's awesome.
Uh,
It's awesome.
It's really cool, and it's going to add another dimension to the space, and it's happy. Here's the other thing, right? celebrities coming into the space, people get really uncomfortable about that, but it's not because of celebrities, is what I'm realizing. I think people just don't like change.
Yeah.
That's like, people are very, very resistant to change, like historically speaking, right? The internet came into play and people were like resistant to that. How long has it taken crypto to gain legs? It's been 12 years it's been in the game, and like, I think it's 5% of the population of the world owns crypto.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not like everybody. And I think
Five
it
or
is because
10,
it's
something.
difficult.
Yeah.
So why do they not like celebrities coming into the space?
I think that it's because that there have been celebrities who have come in and screwed their audiences. It has happened. It happened with NFTs last cycle, and so a lot of people have a sour taste in their mouth from that. There was money grabs, right? But that doesn't, like, you can't just paint everything with one broad brush stroke and
Absolutely
say
not.
all of these people are now. It's ridiculous.
I mean, that's
really.
in all business things, actually. I mean, you always take a risk. There's always going to be a percentage of people that
100%,
act and conduct themselves in a certain way, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And but I do think that it could be also the unfair advantage of already having a massive following, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But that massive following has to learn how to use crypto and buy it and do all of those things. So I don't know if
Is
that's
it really
what
an
pushes
advantage?
it. Yeah, is it really
Yeah.
an advantage? Or is it like people that, I mean, I think that it's actually good for the whole space because it's like,
100%.
it's giving exposure to it. So it's like if
Yeah.
celebrities are getting involved in it, it's like, oh, maybe there's something more to it. I
sure.
think it like definitely opens your perspective to what it is and what it could be.
I totally agree.
It helps
yeah.
the crypto world as a whole to help it become more mainstream by seeing just regular people get involved. They don't have to be,
Right.
financial experts. So having celebrities get involved, they're opening up their audiences to a
Yeah.
whole new opportunity, and then it's just going to make more money in the crypto world too because there's more people involved, and so it should be a positive.
You get to bridge the gap.
It's
It's so
right.
cool. Like,
Bridging it.
To me, it's, well, how else are you going to get people in the space? And that's the question that I would want to ask the whole space in general is like, how do you guys expect to get this in? When brands want to push their brands forward, what do? They reach out to celebrities, right?
Right.
When the Super Bowl has a halftime show, what do to promote, like, the Super Bowl? They have a celebrity come on stage and do a show. It's like a no-brainer, but people just, they're still stuck in their kind of.
I think it is that they perceive it as like an unfair advantage.
I think so.
Like
yeah,
your
that could
coin's
be.
going to go to the top like at a certain point, and that's where like the whole pump and dump thing comes in. And so you're a
Sure.
celebrity, you open it up, coin goes crazy, then you're like, I made a lot of money, and they run away. So like
Very
that
true.
is I think that's the fear of the whole thing. But also like as much as I don't know anything, and I am self-proclaimed don't know anything, I also feel like 20 years from now, we're all going to be using crypto instead of the dollar bill. So I don't know like how to feel about it like at all, but I
Right,
do feel like we should learn what it is like as a society, right? Like at least be aware of how it works. Cause I know I even tried to check out, Gary Vee was having some kind of thing like book signing thing he was
Yeah.
doing. And you go to buy your ticket, and it was like sold through some kind of,
Is it NFT?
yeah, NFT, crypto, something. It was
Yeah.
something, and I was like, "Oh my god, I just want to buy a ticket." I was like, "I'm not going," and I just shut it off. But it was like, I'm like, "Well, here's a guy who's like incredible, right?
I love Gary
and
Vee.
clearly on the forefront of everything."
Yeah.
And so I was really amused by like his checkout system, and that it wasn't just like put your credit card in. You had to like have an account for something first.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's he's using his celebrity power, I guess,
Yes.
to onboard, and he's doing it in a way that's kind of forcing you to onboard, which is kind of smart. It's
Yeah.
ballsy for sure because you're gonna lose a massive audience
Yeah.
in that. But it is like I think kind of being exclusive about it is what needs to happen for a little bit for
Yes.
celebrities to bring people in.
Yes.
Like specifically with WYAC, right? We could
Mm-hmm.
use that as an example. People can't buy it unless they have Solana, and so it's almost like forces people to learn
you have to
the
have
process. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's also scary because so with crypto. This is a question. So I had my identity stolen
Oh shit.
a couple years ago.
Can I
and-
curse, by the way? I don't
Yeah,
know
no,
if
it's
I'm
fine.
allowed to-
Yeah.
But it was 800 transactions, around 800 transactions that happened within a 6-minute period before the bank caught it and shut it
Crazy.
down. Right.
800.
Yes, and it was just like small
In
ones.
6 minutes.
Yeah, and they just kept going. It was just like through this computer system.
Yeah.
Took it out of all my money out of my account plus into the negative, right? So it was
Whoa.
like over $800,000.
Yeah, yeah.
And they still owe me $8,000, Bank of America. But
Shout out.
yeah, luckily I had identity theft protection, so that $24.95 a month really paid off. because they said it all went directly into crypto. And so there was no way to track it. So the bank's argument back to me was, how do we know that this wasn't you doing it to yourself?
It happened during a period that everything was getting drained.
Yeah, does that even, I mean, so how do you track the money? And is there a lot of space for fraud?
That is an interesting thing, because I think that's a really easy cop-out for banks to use that,
Yeah,
and
of
also
course.
force people back into the old financial system, because if they do that, let's say you're frauded, and somebody does exactly that, they have plausible deniability right there to say, like, we don't know, we can't confirm, and
It's in
this
crypto.
is why crypto is a negative.
Yeah.
They could psyop people back into it.
Yeah, and then like, what's the point of it? Are they fighting change, or is there really a problem, or is like, so it's I mean, the whole thing is totally fascinating to me,
Yeah.
and I think there's a lot to be learned there, and a lot of benefit to it as well.
For sure, yeah.
But I think definitely understanding, like, I think the biggest problem is just not understanding, like,
Yes.
because even with like the meme coins, right? You're like, okay, well, I don't want to sell because I want to maintain the integrity of the meme coin.
Right.
But then how do I make money?
Yes.
Because I'm investing a lot of time. So like, how does that, like, how do you like level it out?
That is that. Jeez. Like, I wish people actually. This is something that I want to put in a guide for people.
Yeah.
How to sell respectfully and respect the chart.
Yes.
Which is
Yeah, I
like,
love
because
that.
so many people just eject all their capital, and
Right.
they leave everyone with peanuts, right?
Yeah, you don't want to do that.
No.
But you also want to take enough money out to actually put back into building the brand, the coin, the things, right?
For
So,
sure,
like, say,
yeah.
like, you want to hire somebody that just manages your meme coin all day, but you'd like
Right.
it to cover itself. But
Yes.
you don't want to affect the value of the coin, right? So
Yeah,
it's like
yeah, totally.
interesting. There has to be some kind of like book, like, like meme coin or just coin or Bitcoin, whatever, for dummies. Like, we need
Yeah,
we need, like, remember all the old whatever
Yes,
for
of
dummies
course, of
books?
course.
Yeah.
I feel like that's what I need. Like, just do this, this, this. I can do it. Just this.
I think there is some like people, KOLs in the space that have written stuff like, I don't know that he's a KOL in crypto. He's kind of, this guy's he's a Bitcoin maxi, Jason Williams, and he came into the meme coin space, and everyone was like, what the fuck is Jason doing in this space? Like, it's kind of random. And that's when we kind of knew the bull market was on, was when people like that started, like Bitcoiners coming into meme coins.
Yeah.
That's a new thing that hadn't really happened
They're
yet.
trying something different. Makes it seem like it's really going somewhere.
Exactly,
Yeah.
yeah. And so, sorry, I segued, but like, I would say to sell respectfully on a chart, you wait for the pumps. You don't take more than 5 to 10% at a time, and just kind of DCA, dollar cost average, your way out of the chart. And that's like the best way to respect a pump, because like, if you go to 25 million, and let's say somebody bundle sniped. We talked about this actually. You were asking about that term. So bundle sniping, right? Let's say somebody, when you launched your contract, literally came in and bought a large portion of supply for very, very cheap, because they just happened to be watching what was being deployed at the time on the blockchain, caught that, took a gamble, threw like 5 Solana at it, and now has 40% of your supply or 30% of your supply. That's an issue, right? Because now that person has more power than even, let's say, you, because you had 9% of your supply.
Right.
Luckily, that didn't happen to your coin. I'm really happy about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's a real scenario that happens, and some of these celebrities, it's happened to them too, where someone comes in, snipes their coin, large portion of it, and now that person is the liability in the project, and they're the ones who are going to crash this chart and make her look bad or him look bad.
And so you guys, you professional people, like, when you see that
We're
happen, you
watching
know
wallets.
that's happening.
Yeah, yeah.
So if somebody came in and just bought a ton, that, like, say it's Taylor's coin, right, and it's not Taylor, then you know, like, oh, so if that happens, then do you start selling?
I think I would try to, ideally you're checking that before you enter, but sometimes you miss stuff. Like, sometimes you just see a price going up and you're like, well, I better catch that so I can trade out
Hop on the
quick,
train.
because the momentum's there. And, I've been caught underneath those red candles coming down. Everyone has in the crypto space, which is like, it's just sell, sell, sell.
Yeah.
And you bought too high, and now you're down 98% of your trade, and you're
Right.
like, what the hell just happened?
Right.
And that's the real risk that we take in this space every single day with every trade. So doing your due diligence ahead of time, learning how to read wallets. Sleuth wallets is kind of like the terminology, I guess you could say, and just like really tracking
What's
coins.
happening.
There's actually so there's a really good resource. Rugcheck.xyz is a place where people can go put in a contract address, and it'll tell you, okay, is the liquidity locked? Is the contract liquidity burned and locked? And then is the contract what's it called? Basically, can the deployer make changes to the contract after the coin is already launched?
Oh, that's interesting.
Because sometimes if that's available, well, now they can make it literally so you can't sell once you're in. And
Oh, wow.
there's changes that people can make to it's really wild.
Oh my gosh.
That's the danger of
It's a whole new level. It
Yeah.
really is.
Like a bunch of different levels in there. Because I know
Yeah.
that's one thing is with Taylor, with your coin, is that I just realized that people getting involved are like pretty educated actually. There's not like a lot of newbie people because they're like, so what do you think is happening? Like, I mean, they're all on there and they're like putting their screenshots up and like, this is what happened and that's what happened. And they're like, okay, do you think she's just doing this or do you think that she knows what she's doing? And then somebody will say, well, she's either working with somebody who knows what they're doing because, and I feel like you actually jumped through a lot of hoops and you like passed a lot of tests.
She did. You really did.
Just from like reading the comments. So
Yeah.
I was like, okay, and they're like, no, it's legit. She's sticking with it. Like, this is what's happening. And so you like listen to everybody on there. And I mean, I learned a lot just from listening to you guys talk and like reading the comments. But I feel like, yeah, there's like a level of, if you don't know what, I mean, if I just came in, I wouldn't know what I was looking for. I would do that. I would just see it increasing, jump on the bandwagon, and hope something happens.
90% of people.
Yeah, that's what happens. But then you look at like how many trades there's been. So there's like quite a few trades, right?
Yeah.
So you're like, okay, so are people jumping in at like low numbers and then they make some money and they jump out and that's like happening all the time?
Right.
Yeah. And then you're just hoping that it keeps its momentum.
Sure, yeah. Those
Just
are the
like,
things
wow.
that you want people to look out for.
Yeah.
With your project, it's really cool because you did a legitimate fair launch and you didn't snipe a whole lot of supply, which to some people could have been like, hey, you need more control of the project. But like on the flip side of that, everyone begs people not to bundle snipe.
Buy all of it.
And then they get scared when that happens. So I think personally, yours was the most fair launch that I've seen of a celebrity coin, and
Wow, great.
like genuinely, I think it's great. You didn't snipe a whole bunch of supply. Now, people can talk about what's not great about that and whatever, but I think ultimately you did what everyone should be doing in this space, but people don't because they're also playing into the side of the space that is cutthroat.
Yeah.
So they know they need to control a little bit more supply in case people start dumping their coin, and that's a reality in the space too. That hasn't happened with WYAC because I think it has such an amazing story.
Right.
That's what I personally, and it's a legendary meme. Like this is a real meme on the internet that everyone has seen for years and been a part of, and I've used it, and all that stuff. So I think there's some. I like that you're like the good girl kind of crypto right now. In my eyes. Yeah.
I know. I'm like, I think she didn't snipe all of it because she didn't know what sniping was. It was more like, it was like, let's try this, right? And see what happens.
Yeah, and I definitely had a great team of advisors around me. I wasn't, I
Right.
was being directed in the right way. So I really
Yes.
appreciate that, including you, of course, Sammy.
Yeah, yeah.
And I have to say that there should probably be an urban dictionary for crypto.
Yeah,
Oh my
Because even
gosh,
though I felt
yes.
like I knew a lot, then somebody tells me now there's bundle sniping, and I'm like, okay, let me Google this and see if I know what's going on.
Right. Yeah.
Actually,
yeah.
that's something you could put together as a download.
That's my
Like
experience.
seriously,
That'd be really cool,
crypto
actually.
dictionary.
there's-
Yeah, like crypto for dummies,
Yeah,
or like
crypto.
like
I love
meme
like a
coins.
glossary.
Yeah,
I like
that's
that.
our next project,
Yeah,
Gemma.
it is.
That's
You
all we
gotta
need
add
is another
that.
project.
Crypto glossary.
But Jimmy, you and I talk a lot about AI, and
Yes.
she studies up on AI. She did a 4-hour course the other
Yeah.
day. She's
Yeah.
really
Oh, wow.
into
Oh,
it.
yeah, I love AI.
And so
everything.
I think it's kind of the same. You have to really put the time in and learn and invest in it. And AI is not going anywhere, and crypto's not either.
Yeah, you
That's
have
for
to
sure.
figure it out.
So
is
I
for
think
sure.
people need to, like you and I've talked about,
Yes.
you get in front of it, get along with it, and go with it because
Make it
it's
your
here
friend.
to stay. Yeah,
Absolutely, or we're going to be seriously antiquated as people.
that's right.
Yeah, like we're
You're-
not going to know. What's
You're
up.
obviously listening to people like Gary Vee, and,
Yeah.
and which is really like kudos to you because he knows what's happening. He's actually very good at.
Oh, well, I like
following
Gary
people.
because he just says everything that I say.
Yeah, there you go.
I mean, I literally agree with everything. I'm talking to him like, I love this guy. He's like in my head.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I think he's been through some hard times. He's learned some lessons, and I just love that he has a crazy, awesome platform to share it with the world because he definitely is doing more good things than bad things for sure.
I agree.
He's a great guy.
He's a very smart.
Not that I know him at all, but I
Well,
believe he's a
as we
great
go
guy.
on this crypto adventure together,
Yeah.
definitely want us to keep talking about it and educating people. So, Zammy, thank you so much for educating me and also for hosting for me and
Thank you for having
just
me.
being such a reliable source and helping me along the way. So, we're going to keep watching WIAC and see what happens. We're all going to learn from
Absolutely.
it.
I can't wait. And maybe there'll be another episode of the Meme Queen meeting the Crypto King.
There we
Good.
go.
That'd be
I
nice.
love
Yeah,
it.
Thank you for having me too,
Thank
Taylor.
you for coming
It's
on.
really nice to be here.
Yes, love it.
Guys.
Yeah, thank you, Gemma, as well.
Thanks.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.